Hello, cool cats. Welcome to an all new episode of Wildlife Wednesday. My name is Megan Leslie. I'm President and CEO of World Wildlife Fund Canada. And here at WWF Canada, we're working towards a future with abundant wildlife where nature and people thrive. And we work with nature from coast to coast to coast and around the world in places like Nepal. I'm really excited about today's episode because we are talking about some of the world's most iconic and ecologically important species. That's right, we're talking about big cats. Now, WWF is a global network, and we work alongside our partners, WWF Nepal, to conserve tigers, snow leopards, and their habitats. A few years ago, I was lucky enough to travel to Nepal to meet with our colleagues and see big cat conservation projects in action. And during this trip, I was also able to see a tiger in the wild. No graphic evidence, but it was breathtaking. Now, of course, I am not a big cat expert myself, so I definitely can't do this Big Cat Wildlife Wednesday alone, and that's why I'm being joined by a friend, one of WWF Canada's resident big cat experts, Dr. Rinjan Shrestha. Rinjan, welcome.
Thanks again. Hi, everyone.
Hello, and in addition to you joining us, I got this guy.
Wow.
Not quite like the tiger saw in Nepal, but pretty cute. So Rinjan, welcome. Why don't you tell the audience a little bit about yourself and introduce our topic today?
Well, hello, everybody. As Megan has mentioned, I am WWF Canada's big cats guy. I'm trained as a wildlife biologist, and I'm currently associated with the Science, Knowledge, and Innovation Unit here at WWF Canada. My primary role is to assist WWF's efforts of saving big cats, including tigers, leopards, and lions. And yeah, although I have been working with big cats for the past 25 years, I am still finding that there are so many things to learn about. Every time I visit the land of big cats, I get surprises as something new comes up. And this, Megan, this continuous learning opportunity from wildlife and as well as from the local people, that always inspires me, really.
So Rinjan, I'm gonna jump right into questions. And before we dive too deep, let me pick up on what you just said about always learning and about these big cats. What do you like most about big cats? Tough question.
Yeah. well, Megan, I like almost everything about big cats. It's really difficult to choose one, but I'm particularly amazed to see how they are a perfect fit for their environment. For instance, snow leopards, the long tail, thick body coat, snowshoe-like pose, large nostrils, stout limbs, short ears, all has specific role to play to make their survival possible in one of the harshest regions of the world.
Okay.
And let's look at the tigers. Tigers' body size and configuration, striped body coat, ability to conceal and ambush prey all contribute to making them superior predator. But one thing that really amuses me about tiger is the white spot on the back of tiger's ear.
Yeah.
Megan, no one really knows the significance of this unique feature. Okay, but if I have to now I remember, like, if I have to choose one thing, the thing that I like most about big cats, I would certainly go for the way that they walk.
Really?
Elegant, relaxed, and carefree.
Amazing. Rinjan, your passion comes through, and I'm picturing these big cats in my mind. And you and I have talked quite a bit about big cats, and you've said to me that big cats are the heart and soul of their ecosystems. So why is it so important that we help tiger and snow leopard populations rebound? Why is this a priority?
Oh, yes, Megan. As the top predators, and the big cats, they play a key role in maintaining their ecosystem. And
Mm,
the loss of these cats, yeah, it has potential to disrupt the food chain of an ecosystem through a process known as a trophic cascade. For example, in the absence of tigers, there will be too many deer, and
okay.
they will eventually overgraze and degrade the health of the environment, which might result into more, for instance, more frequent and intense wildfires, disease outbreak, drying up of springs, water
Hmm.
springs.
Hmm.
And Megan, not only this, big cats like tigers and snow leopards, they are known to help sustain the continuous supply of fresh water to
Really?
hundreds and millions of people. And Megan, these cats are also an integral part of way of life of many indigenous people around the globe. And not only this, Megan, saving these cats make great deal of economic sense as well. I would like to give you an example
Hmm.
from India, a national park in India, where
Hmm.
a single tigress, was known to raise a revenue of over US $103 million in the past one
Wow.
decade of her life. Yeah, and she effectively
That's through
employed,
tourism?
yeah, from tourism, park
Okay.
revenue, hotel
Yeah.
stays, and also, and not only that, she also employed over 3,000 local people.
Wow.
And
Wow.
Megan, today her offspring are continuing this legacy.
That's amazing.
The park
Rinjan,
is
I'm
called
learning
Ranthambore National Park. Yeah, sorry.
amazing. I'm learning a lot already, and I'm sure our viewers are too. Can you tell us one aspect of your research that you think most people don't know about? What's something that would
Oh.
surprise us?
I don't think it would be that surprising, but I really like the way that I initiate any research projects, Megan. So whenever I start a field project, first order of business would be to train local people in handling research equipments like digital camera traps, GPS units, binoculars, spotting, or even handheld calculator.
Okay.
And yes, and it is really amazing to see local people's curiosity and willingness to learn.
Yeah,
And
look at
Megan,
that.
yes, and Megan, at the same time, it also encourages them to actively engage in our projects, which I believe is one of the key elements of the success for any field projects.
Yeah, that's true of so much of our conservation work. When people are engaged, that's when it's successful. Rinjan, can I ask you about WWF? So why is WWF uniquely positioned to save big cats?
Well, I think the first and foremost would be WWF's extensive global network as well as
Mm,
underground presence in almost all countries where
yeah.
these big cats are found. And this, it provides a strong and unique convening power at site, landscape, and global scales. And this eventually helps us in securing much needed political will as well as it helps us in rallying relevant partners for
Right.
conservation of these cats. And the second would be WWF's natural fit and institutional advantage to address
Hmm.
issues pertaining to big cat conservation, because it is based on the extensive underground experience on both natural and human dimensions of big cat conservation. For example, species conservation science, human wildlife coexistence, indigenous led conservation, and the ability to strategically engage diverse stakeholders in conservation efforts. So, Megan,
Yeah,
building on this experience and achievements of the past, we have already developed and successfully launched highly ambitious global conservation campaigns such as the Earth Hour, which we celebrated just last week.
that's right.
And of yes, and of course we have ongoing campaign T times two, doubling the tiger numbers by 2022. This is also considered as one of the most ambitious species conservation plan ever. But Megan,
Okay,
as
don't go
part of
too far on T2. I'm going to ask you more questions about that later.
yeah,
we got to save that one, I think.
sure.
Rinjan, that's really powerful. Thinking about WWF, I mean, that's the power of the panda. We're everywhere. I'm going to ask you a few more questions shortly, but I really want to make some time to hear from one of our colleagues, someone you know very well, Shrestha. Sharon is a wildlife researcher with WWF Nepal, and Sharon works on the ground every day doing conservation work for big cats and more specifically for snow leopards in the Himalayas. Since Sharon's in Nepal and we're here in Canada, it's tough to find a time of day when he could be here with us to do this live because of time zones. I think, Rinjan, what is it? It's like 2 a.m. or something there. So
Yeah, it's around 12. Yeah, this will be
yeah,
around yeah
we don't want to wake him up.
9 p.m. Yeah.
Okay. Well, Sharon and Rinjan sat down virtually for an interview last week, and we recorded it, so you can take a look.
Seren has been managing the snow leopard conservation program for WWF Nepal since 2016. He's led series of challenging and successful snow leopard coloring expeditions in recent years. His work has been instrumental in responding to the critical threats being faced by snow leopards, such as the climate change impacts. So, what is a day in the life of a big cat researcher like?
Basically, I handle overall snow leopard program management and also implementation. So a lot of times I'm also in Kathmandu helping out with overall preparations, planning, and all those things. What all we have is basically addressing threats, trying to understand the threats through research and trying to find solutions, and then executing those solutions with partners, with our government partners and our community partners. And then when we go to the field, then obviously there's a lot of walking because the places that we work in are extremely remote. Like the field sites that we have visit are like, often like over 10 days trek and stuff like that. So that takes us a lot of time. And also it gives us a lot of time actually while we walk, then we get to interact with a lot of communities, try and understand their problems, try and learn from them the issues that they face, but also a lot of times solutions. We work on our project closely with the communities. So when I go to the field along with my colleagues as a researcher, what we also try and do is teach the community what we know about our, these research tools, camera traps, a lot of other various approaches that we use, and basically learn from them about snow leopards and jointly plan a lot of research interventions and implement them on ground. So there's a lot of walking in the field and also a lot of hoping because you always hope to see some amazing natural history moment.
What goes into planning and executing a coloring expedition?
Yeah, so these coloring expeditions are essentially led by the government of Nepal, and WWF has been providing technical and financial support. And we're also thankful to our supporters from Canada who've supported our efforts here. We work in these remote areas where there are no stores, no shops, nothing, even no electricity. So everything that we might need for the expedition, we need to carry it from here. So generally during these expeditions, we have about 30 members, and 30 members from different organizations. The government is there, the community is there, WWF researchers are there, and also we have partner organizations such as National Trust for Nature Conservation who provide veterinary expertise. So coordinating all the time, all those things, and also making all the preparations, which also means like getting equipment, takes us like I think about a year to just prepare, and then then we go up to the mountains for 30 days, 45 days. We are up there without connection. Obviously, thankfully, we have satellite phone connections, stuff like that, to get in touch with our family and friends at home and even colleagues.
What do you learn from the data that you collected from satellite telemetry, and how is it helping to reveal more about snow leopards' secretive life?
So satellite telemetry is one of the things, one of the researches that we do. As I mentioned earlier, our research also includes understanding other circumstances, like understanding prey population, understanding the habitat conditions, understanding the socioeconomics, and all of these feed into helping us get a better understanding or holistic understanding of snow leopards in their landscape, which helps us devise holistic conservation plans to address different challenges. Specifically, talking about snow leopard telemetry, satellite telemetry for that matter, is been an amazing tool. Mainly because once you collar the animal, then you don't need to. It's intrusive in some way, but then once you collar the animal, then the animal is able to freely move, freely go about its own life as it would. So whatever data comes in, we get in terms of the movement of the animal. So looking at the movement of the animal, we are able to identify its home range, where all it moves, its preferred areas, if its preferred times, its behavioral patterns, lot of different things. And these information, what we do is we try and integrate them into conservation planning. As I informed earlier, it's not just about satellite telemetry alone. Satellite telemetry provides us some data, but then we get a lot of other data from other different researchers. We combine all of those together to help prepare management strategies.
Rinjan, that was so good. What a great window into the life of a big cat expert. Please, next time you're talking to Sharon, thank him for the time that he took to share his experiences in the field. That was great.
For sure, Megan.
I also want to let everyone know that Sharon gave us a stunning performance of a song that he wrote called Ghost of the Mountains, and he wrote it about snow leopards. He wrote this, it's almost like a love letter to the one that he saw hidden in the snow during his first snow leopard expedition to Kanchenjunga. And what we're going to do is we're going to show that performance at the end of the episode, so stay tuned for that. Okay, Rinjan, after hearing about Sharon's work with big cats, I have some more questions for you. And I think my first question is, what motivates you to keep working for big cats?
Yes, Megan. It's certainly, the local people's appreciation of our work. It is absolutely a primary driving force for me to keep working in this field. And I really feel at home whenever I visit local communities in and around the heartlands of these big cats. And Megan, another factor that encourages me to do what I do is our supporters here in Canada and around the globe. Uh, Oftentimes, I receive letters from our supporters as young as 5 or 6 years old.
Oh,
Yeah, ask really brilliant questions. That's really encouraging, Megan.
future scientists.
They are. And last but not least, I would say our panda family. Uh, when I first joined WWF back in 2008, I heard someone saying that it is a place where science, commitment, passion, and hope meets to address one of the daring issues of our planet.
Yeah.
And it's so true. And Megan, I think this is also one of the reasons why we have been able to take on the highly ambitious species conservation goals, such as T times 2.
Okay. Well, first of all, I'm not surprised to learn that you're getting letters from supporters because you do amazing work, Rinjan. So T times 2, doubling the tiger population worldwide by 2022. And hey, we're almost there. So what's the situation with tigers? We're coming to the end of the goal. Where are we at?
Megan, before answering this question, I would like to go back to the situation back in 2010
Yeah.
when the global tiger population was plummeted to an all-time low of approximately 3,200 individuals. And then the TX2 campaign was launched by all the tiger range states in collaboration with WWF and World Bank and other conservation partners. And this campaign, as I have said earlier, is regarded as one of the most ambitious species conservation plan
Yeah.
ever. And Megan, thanks to the ceaseless efforts by all the stakeholders, for the first time in species conservation, in tiger conservation history, their population has stopped declining in 2016, and then it continued to increase up to 3,900 individuals
Wow.
as of today. So, Megan, closely and currently, about 85, close to 85% of wild tigers live in WWF supported landscapes, including the tiger range countries like Bhutan, China, India, Nepal, and Russia. And
Mhm.
these countries have significantly contributed to the recent increase in tiger populations. But Megan, we are not completely out of woods yet.
Okay.
With ongoing COVID-19 pandemic, it is now more than ever we need to double down on our efforts to address the threats like poaching, habitat encroachment,
Yeah.
human-wildlife conflict.
Yeah. Wow, that's amazing. We've come so far in just a decade. It's hard to even believe. And I hear what you're saying that we're not out of the woods yet. But when I think about how the populations of tigers have been able to recover, I wonder if it's possible to sustain tiger populations at those levels and beyond. What's your opinion of that?
Absolutely, it's absolutely possible.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
Megan, let me answer this question from the perspective of three key features of tiger conservation story.
Okay.
Number one, tiger biology. Two, advancement in science and technology. Three, political will.
Mm,
So let's look at the tiger biology.
okay.
These cats are prolific breeders. They can give birth to as many as five key cubs in 1 litter, and they come back to estrus pretty quickly if cubs die for some reason. And
That's
they are,
right. They're cats. Yeah.
yeah,
Of
yeah,
course.
yeah. And also, Megan, they're highly adaptable species in a wide range of habitats. Let's take an example of Bengal tiger.
Hmm.
They are found in cold, snowy mountains at altitudes as high as 4,300 meters,
Hmm.
to sweltering tropical jungles, savannas, and swampy mangrove forests at sea level. And recent studies have revealed that the currently available, what I'm trying to make a point here is that there's plenty of room for left for
Okay.
them to thrive. The studies actually have revealed that the currently available habitats can potentially sustain nearly 3 times the current level of the population.
Wow, that's impressive. Okay.
And now the second point, let's look at the recent advancement in science and technology.
Hmm.
Emerging conservation technologies like in the fields such as molecular genetics, remote sensing,
Hmm.
informatics, and artificial intelligence offers a great deal of promise to address some of the fundamental issues of tiger conservation today and into the future. So my third point was, Megan, political will, current
Right.
state of political will. The St. Petersburg summit of 2010, which was participated by highest level of governments of the tiger range countries to start the T times 2 campaign.
Mhm.
It can be described as a pivotal moment in tiger conservation history.
Okay.
This campaign has now been able to galvanize wide range of supporters from businesses, celebrities like Leonardo DiCaprio, foundations, and corporations, so you name it, and also the general population at local, international levels. So, Megan, given a chance, a fighting chance, I'm pretty sure that tigers will recover from setbacks and rebuild their populations. Successful example, we do have successful example.
Yeah.
For instance, in Banque National Park, where WWF Canada is supporting the conservation initiatives since 2013, the tiger population here has increased from 0 to 21 since
Wow.
2010. And we do have similar stories of impressive tiger population recovery from China, India, Russia, and Bhutan. So I'm very optimistic about T times 2 goal. It might take some time. It might go beyond 2020 to just exactly double. But there are plenty of opportunities for us to work on.
Well, if you're optimistic, Rinjan, then I'm optimistic because you're the expert, and it's really exciting to hear that this is possible and that we're doing it. Also, I just need to say that footage that we showed of the tigers in the wild, caught with camera traps. Oh, it's some breathtaking stuff. So back to Nepal, we have another quick interview with another colleague of ours from WWF Nepal. Her name is Sabita Mala, and she's a senior research officer who studies, you guessed it, big cats. Let's take a look.
Savita joined WWF Nepal a decade ago when we pledged to double the wild tiger numbers by 2022. Not many people then believed that it was a realistic goal. Thanks to the ceaseless efforts of Savita and her team, and generous supporters like you, they have now proved that those people were wrong. Savita, how does it feel like to be the wildlife biologist of Nepal?
I always dreamed of a job that allowed me to be very close to the nature. And through this job, I'm actually living my one very dream. And I feel very, very fortunate that way. So this job sort of takes me to all the amazing, serene, and the most wilderness areas that I could ever dream of. I am happy today that I was able to sort of lead and support and contribute to one of or some of the very exciting and the challenging wildlife projects of Nepal. Looking back, we've achieved so much more on the ground, that too with visible outcomes and measurable milestones. So if I just look at the one of the park where WWF-Canada invested, with no tigers in that area, and now we've reached the number of 21, and in other protected area, the tiger numbers have increased by 5-fold in Bardia National Park, and this gives me a lot of satisfaction, and I really feel happy and proud that I was a part of this mission, and I was able to contribute in my own small ways.
Could you please tell us the most challenging thing that you have encountered so far?
So across the globe, these species, the big cats, they occur in very low densities, but then occupy huge areas. That means that to address your research questions or to understand these species, we really need to cover large areas. And that means that we need to sort of invest a lot of time in data collection that could span for over months and even years. And so just to pursue this kind of studies, the researchers really need to have huge passions, dedication, and commitment. And yeah, so majorities of the habitats are inaccessible, rugged, and they also have the harshest climatic conditions. In the habitats where tigers dwell, it may not be that difficult like that of a snow leopard in the mountains. But these cats, they do share their habitat with other mammals like the Asiatic elephant, the greater one-horned rhinoceros, and the sloth bear. And there is always a likelihood of encountering any of these species while you are doing a field work. And in my career, I have been chased by both the greater one-horned rhinoceros and wild elephant, and both the times it was like a very, very close escape. And if something could have gone wrong, it could have been proved fatal. But I'm lucky that way that nothing did happen. I'm here sharing my stories with you.
Rinjan, you work with a great team. You work with a great team, and I can see everybody's passion.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So before we wrap quickly, we do have a couple of questions we need to get to from our supporters. If you have a question for Rinjan, feel free to put it in the chat. If we don't get to it in the show, we'll try and go back and answer them afterwards. But we have a couple of enthusiastic young supporters who have questions. I think first up we have Lachlan and Corinne.
Why are snow leopards called ghosts of the mountain? How do snow leopards climb rocks?
What a good question.
Wow.
Why are they ghosts of the mountains, and how do they climb rocks?
Lachlan and Corinne, great question indeed. So, yeah, it often happens that even if we are pretty close to snow leopards, let's say 20 to 30 meters apart, we may not see them.
Why is that?
While the snow leopard will be closely watching our movement all the time, and then if they make a move, you will certainly notice them. Yeah, so this is how elusive they are.
And they're camouflaged too. They're just
Camouflage. So
but
yeah,
they're there
yeah,
watching.
exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, their unique color,
Yeah.
skin color, makes them perfectly blend into the background landscape.
Like ghosts.
Yes, and because of this say highly secretive or elusive behavior, together with the remoteness of their habitats. Their habitats are considered one of the remotest part of the planet. It often takes a week or two of foot expedition just to reach their habitat on foot expedition. So for this reason, not many people have seen them out in the wild. So Megan and Lachlan and Lachlan, sorry, did I pronounce it right? I'm sorry about that.
Lachlan, yeah.
Lachlan and Corinne. So this could be one of the reasons why they are called ghosts of the mountains. And Corinne, your question is how they climb rocks. Very interesting question. Yeah. So, it's possible because they have very powerful, sturdy legs, especially the back legs, hind legs. And their front legs are agile and much shorter compared to their hind legs, the back one, the two legs. And also, they have a very thick skin on their paws to protect from sharp rocks from cutting into their feet. So these contribute making snow leopards an elite rock climber.
Perfect. Elite rock climbing ghosts of the mountain. Great questions.
You got it.
We've one more question, Rinjan, and this is from Zidane.
My name's Zidane, and I want to know, can tigers eat grass? I don't know why I'm wondering that, but bye.
Can tigers eat grass? I mean, we see house cats eating grass sometimes.
Yeah, they do, Jiran. I'm glad actually you asked this question because many scientists have also. It's not only you. Many scientists have also wondered about it. Yes, actually, tigers do eat grass. They often chew on a few blades of grass here and there, but not as frequently as other herbivores like rhinos and elephants. A little bit of grass actually in their diet gives them the fiber that they need to digest food and make their defecation easier.
Great. Those were wonderful questions and excellent answers, Rinjan. You've proved yourself as our big cat expert. And I just want to thank you so much for the work you're doing and for making the time to share it with us today. Now, for folks who are watching, I should let you know we are currently raising funds to support our big cat conservation work in Nepal. And now we often have symbolic adoptions for animals like this cutie with the cub here, and you can find these on our e-store. But we do have a special opportunity right now. We have a donor who loves big cats just as much as we do, and they've offered to match donations for our Big Cat work until May 4th. So if you thought, hey, I'd like to donate to this, we have somebody who's going to take what you donate and actually match it. So we'll put in the comments how you could contribute to that campaign. So stay tuned all month. This is Big Cat month for us. We've got more exciting Big Cat content on our social media channels to come. And with that, I want to ask you to enjoy this performance from Shrestha, his love letter to the ghost of the mountains. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
So this song, I call snow leopards the ghost of the mountains. That's what they're called, as Dr. Rinjan mentioned earlier, because they're so elusive. So here goes. I hope you enjoy it. Off to the mountains where like rocks we roll, open our hearts to an open door. Through the clouds above the snow, meet a special girl who lives alone. Away from all the things we flow for a month or more. God only knows, braving winds and rain and all the nature throws. Meet a special girl who lives alone. She's hidden there, we know, invisible but real, with spots among the stones. Ghost of the mountains, reveal yourself to us. Ghost of the mountains, believe in us, we're only here to set you free. In a place where few dare to go, where time stops breathing and breath turns slow, on top of the world, God's abode. Meet a special girl who lives alone, withstanding the pain and the bitter cold. Through our highs and through our lows, walking up 100 peaks and sliding down the slopes. Meet a special girl who lives alone. She's hidden there, we know, invisible but real, with spots among the stones. Wish we could somehow show, how do we feel, so lost without a soul. Ghost of the mountains, reveal yourself to us. Ghost of the mountains, believe in us, we're only here to set you free. All these enticing signs tell us that you're around. In your pure paradise, you blend in the background. If you don't spare our limbs, we'll be forever yours. Make us believe in God, or release some higher force. Ghost of the mountains, reveal yourself to us. Ghost of the